So, yeah, just before we move on, I think you should give it up for Graham for a fantastic night tonight. And what about the acts you've seen already? I've got to be honest, right, there's probably 2 of those that I think in 2 years' time you'll see on live at the Apollo. And I'm not going to embarrass them, but one of them's not white. And the other is a girl. I thought they were fantastic. So, yeah, this is not, and you've moved. Have you two had a fallout? What's happened there?
Yeah.
Did you tell him not to wear Crocs tonight? And he just...
No, they're mine.
They're yours.
Yeah, they're mine.
They could do with the polish, I've got to be honest.
Just leave the Crocs out of it.
I love Crocs, I'm with you all the
I bet
way.
you're wearing some. I bet you've got some.
I don't mind sharing with you, I've got an orange pair.
Yeah.
No, I've got a bright orange camper van, so bollocks to that, and I've got a blue pair with white stripes round.
Oh,
and
go
my
fast.
Go fast.
Yeah.
Not at this age they don't. So, and yeah, I'm not sure it was the second row or the third row, but I think we've possibly the third row. One of the ladies, are you German by any chance? No? Because you put your fucking scarf right along those chairs, didn't you, when you came in? Yeah, I saw you. What I will do is I will stretch the scarf along here. So none of these peasants come and sit by us. Is that how it works? That's nice. So, as Graham said, I went to Leicester this year and I won the silver stand-up. No, listen, it's not as...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all right. To qualify, you got to be over 55. That was it, basically. And there was no upper age limit. Like, backstage, it was like God's waiting room for comedians. One of the acts, just before he was going to go on, we looked at him, he was sat in a chair with his eyes closed, and we thought, shit. And somebody said, should we wake him? And I said, fuck it, it'll improve our chances. So I did my 5 minutes in the heat, and I got through that, and I got to the final, and I did my 5 minutes, and I won, and it was brilliant. And I phoned my wife, I said, you never guess, after 4 years of trying, I've only gone and won. And she was like, oh, that's fantastic. What have you won? Right, now you will have deduced from her accent that I am married from a lady from Bangladesh. So I said, I won a trophy. She said, oh, right, anything else? No. 2 hours later, I'm back in Gloucester, going to the living room, show her the trophy. She said, that's nice. Was there anything else? No. Okay. I've been on the website and Googled it. Right. When were you going to tell me about the £500 cash prize? I was gutted, like, because I had that lined up for a special occasion, right? And she said, the thing is, right, you should always tell the truth. And to be fair, that's fine. She went on a cruise the end of April with her girlfriend Chris for a week.
Oh.
She phoned me on the Wednesday. Are you missing me? I remember what she said. I was like, no. She was clutching at straws then. Oh, I bet the dog's missing me. He fucking wasn't. He was loving it. Me and him, we had the best week ever. He was asleep on my bed. I was feeding him shit food. We go down the pub every night. And I was looking at him, and he can't speak, but he looked at me one night, and I could tell what he was saying. Like, she really got to come back, Dad. I didn't miss her. Well, I say that. I missed her once on the Saturday. Because I had to change the king size duvet. On my own. It's alright for you people like of normal stature, but for little people with little arms, I ended up inside the fucking duvet, to be honest. Just trying to get it down the far end. I'm a big fan of the duvet. I think that's absolutely fantastic. But the duvet cover, what were they thinking when they did that? Like, oh, we need a cover for that. Yeah, you do. And you need to put something on the end to stop the duvet coming out. Yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm going to invent the most difficult fucking thing I possibly is. Why didn't they just put a zip along it, right? Because I got inside and I got all the corners down like that. That was fine, and I did it up and did all the buttons up and got to the end. Oh, for fuck's sake, there's still 2 left. We did dry January this year. We still drank, just no sex. It was sort of drink related, because Christmas Day I had 1 red wine too many, fell asleep at the dinner table at 4 o'clock, and she said it was embarrassing, disgraceful, she was humiliated. The other people in the hotel dining room thought it was hilarious. And we celebrated Valentine's Day as well. I did the romantic thing, phoned the florist, can I order some flowers? Yeah. Do you want a card? Yes, please. What do you want on the card? I just put to Lynn, love, Nick. I said, do you want a kiss on the bottom? I said, that'd be fantastic. And she said, no. I said, no, I meant on the bottom of the card. I said, yeah, I know, I'm a comedian, I was just making a joke. And quick as a flash, she said, I bet you don't get many gigs. She's doing her own fucking stand-up routine. But we did celebrate Valentine's Day. We had it at home because we're tight now. And we were sat down, and Lynn said, "Can you remember how we first met?" I said, "Oh, not really. It was a long time ago." She said, "Well, you had an advert in the Lonely Hearts column. In fact, you had 2." I said, "Did I?" She said, "Yeah, but I only replied to 1." I said, "Why was that?" She said, "Well, in the other one, you put your height." That's harsh, isn't it? I didn't realise. But then a week after we got together, I said, should we have a day trip to Alton Towers? She said, "It's a bit of a waste of £62 for you, isn't it, really?" And I got home one day, and she said, "How do you feel about only being 9 inches taller than the largest emperor penguin ever recorded?" She fucking Googled it, right? I was alright with that, I could live with that. She worked in a school, and I used to go and see her sometimes, have a coffee with her. And I went into the classroom, into the what do they call it, the common room, and the teacher there, "Do you want a coffee, Nick?" "Oh, yes, please." "Do you want a biscuit?" "Oh, that'd be nice." "Why do you pick up a biscuit?" Fuckers. Absolute. But, no. We have been married, me and my wife, for 21 years, and by that I don't mean I'm married to a 21-year-old, that would be fucking brilliant, to be honest. But she said, like, there's no romance in our relationship anymore. And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" She said, "Well, maybe when we've been intimate, it'd be nice to have some music playing, just to break the silence." So I thought, well, she's got a fair point. The first problem I had was finding a track that lasted 38 seconds. It was alright, I sorted it. So we were getting down to it, I put the track on, "Make It With You" by Bread. I thought, oh, that's nice. I think where I went... Yeah, it was alright. I think where I went slightly wrong was my choice of song number 2, the theme from Match of the Day. And then she said, "There's no surprises in our relationship anymore." Actually, I've missed that whole bit. I've missed that whole chunk of material out. I'm going to have to rewind. So before, just remember, after I've done the penguin bit, right? Okay, we've done that back. So we've gone through the same routine every night for 21 years. She goes up to bed, I go up to bed. Have you turned the TV off? Yes. At the wall? Yes. Have you locked the back door? Yes. Have you locked the front door? Yes. At the bottom? Yes. At the top? No. And it gets to about October, and she's like, "I hate this time of year." "Do you love, why is that?" "Well, the bottom of the bed's always cold, isn't it?" "I don't know, my legs have never fucking been down there." To be quite honest. But she said there is no surprises in our relationship anymore. And I thought, again, she's got a fair point. So the other night, she was in the bathroom getting ready. I went into the bedroom, turned the lights off, lit some candles. hid under the bed, and when she came in, I just grabbed her ankles. Apparently that wasn't the surprise she had. But she did surprise me just before Christmas. She said, "You have remembered, you're picking me up from my work stool tomorrow." Now, as I say, that came as a surprise because she's self-employed and works from home. I said, "No, that's fine." So I met her at the allocated time. She got in the car, and all I said was, "Have you had a nice time?" "Oh, you saying I'm drunk?" "Oh, don't fucking start." "No, but clearly you've had a drink." And I got that silence for about 5 minutes, and then it started. I don't think you love me." "Oh, God. In fact, I don't think you've ever loved me." I said, "Well, I have, I do. I can't guarantee what's going to happen going forward, to be honest." She said, "Well, if you love me, you can prove it right now." I said, "Well, how am I going to do that?" She said, "You can get on top of me and make love to me in the car." I said, "Well, that's not going to happen, is it?" She said, "Well, give me one good reason." I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 3. She said, "Go on then." Right, number 1, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Number 2, we're still outside Wetherspoons in the middle of Gloucester. And number 3, we've got your girlfriend Chris in the back of the car. Because we're giving her a lift home, right? Now, the thing is, as I said, it was fine for her to go on that week's cruise for a week with her girlfriend to the Norwegian fields. I wanted one night with my girlfriend to spend that £500 cash prize. The shit I got from that. Bless her. I thought about this sort of New Year's resolution, the usual sort of stuff, you know, drink less, that would be one thing. But the other thing I thought about was I need to be a better person, need to be a bit more woke, because I'm still quite angry, quite irritable, but I don't mind telling you, Hungerford, I've got issues. Well, I say issues, let's call them by their proper name, shall we? Fucking stepchildren. They're not even kids, they're 39 and 40. Right, the one's all right, the other one's absolutely mental. Right, and at Christmas we were just having a chat, and I inadvertently used the word Eskimo in a conversation. She went off on one, right? She was more angry than a cat that's just found out it belongs to a West Ham footballer. Right, that's how annoyed she was. She said, "The thing is, that word is very discriminatory." I said, "Oh, Nia, like, I'm 64, it's just a fucking word I've grown up with. I don't mean any offence by it." She said, "The thing is, you have never experienced discrimination, have you?" "Sorry?" She said, "You have never experienced discrimination." I said, "I'm ginger, of course I am." Because growing up, it was the name calling, you know, Copper Knob, Duracell, Ginger Nut. "You little ginger wanker." And I can remember saying, "Dad, leave it out." I thought of my dad the other day because I was watching something on YouTube on World of Sport and the wrestling. Can we all remember the wrestling that used to be? Yeah, on a Saturday. And I used to watch it when I was a kid growing up with my dad. You know, with Kent Walton commentating and Mick McManus and Giant Haystacks and Les Keller. And afterwards we try and sort of recreate that wrestling moment, and I try and pin his arms to the ground and hold him for a count of 3, but he'd always just pop his one shoulder up. And I think he was just trying to teach me a life lesson, really. And that was like, never give up, and eventually you'll achieve. And I can remember the elation I felt when I finally managed to pin him down. To be fair, he was 87 in the fucking care home. But it wasn't just my dad. I can remember I came home we'd just gone back to school. It was January 1963. And I came home and I said, "Mum, all the other boys in school were talking about the presents they had Christmas Day." She went, "And?" I said, "Well, I didn't get any, did I?" She said, "No, you didn't. And there's a very good reason for that." I said, "What's that then?" And she just looked me in the eye and said, "Santa don't stop for ginger kids." I know. To be fair, it was pretty good advice, because I've got 2 ginger kids, not spent a penny of them. But discrimination does still exist, and it exists in the comedy world, because last year I applied for a gig in Bristol, and it said acts wanted, particularly those of LGBT or POC persuasion. So I phoned up, said, "I'm interested in the gig." They said, "Are you LGBT?" I said, "No." They said, are you POC? I said, I don't know, what does it mean? They said, person of colour. I said, yes. What colour are you? Ginger. They put the phone down. Because we do live in a very politically correct world, and you know, it has changed. Because a couple of years ago, Bideford in Devon, historically, has always been known as a little white town because of its whitewashed houses, right? People have objected and they've had to take all those signs down now. People in Whitehaven are shitting themselves. But a little bit closer to home, I was in Greg's a couple of weeks ago and I went in and said, oh, can I have that, I'll have that Cornish pasty, please. She said, I can't sell you that. Why, is it off? No, but we can't sell it as a Cornish pasty because it wasn't made in Cornwall. Well, what is it? Well, we have to call it a traditional pasty. Well, what's in it? She said meat, potato and veg. What, the same as a Cornish pasty? She said exactly the same. Do you want it? I said, as a matter of principle, no, I don't. She said, do you want something else? I said, yeah, I'll have a cheese and onion sandwich on white, please. And she said, racist. It's just one of the things about getting older, though, isn't it? I'm like, I don't mind telling you, I'm 64 this year, and I was alright at 50. That was fine. Got to 50, and we probably all got the same thing through the letterbox: free life assurance. I could deal with that. When you get to 60, ooh, funeral plans. I know about funeral plans because my mum died in 2019, and she had one with the co-op, and I had to go in and speak to the woman about it. And a wedding. She said, oh, your mum's got this funeral plan. I said, yeah, I know. She said, do you know much about them? I said, well, no, not really. Other than it's not going to cost me anything. She said, oh, they're fantastic. She said, how old are you? I said, well, I'm 63 now. She said, oh, you should be thinking about one now, really. I said, well, what exactly is it? She said, well, basically, you can choose what music you want, what food you want, you can put money behind the bar, you can have a band, you can invite who you want. It's fantastic. By the end of the conversation, I was looking forward to dying. I've got to be honest. But Mum did die. Mum did die in 2019, and I know somebody already mentioned dementia, and she had dementia, and I'm not for any minute taking the piss out of dementia. But she always used to say to me, "Will you talk about me when I'm gone, especially the way I am?" So I've got her permission, to be fair. She had a tough upbringing. She was an alcoholic when I was born. I was taken off her and not given back to the age of 3. We didn't have a real bond. And I've got to be honest, I think in later life that really helped because I could deal with it and take the emotion out of it. But if you don't know anything about dementia, there's certain traits that people have. They get very paranoid, right? They think there's people in their house. They tend to lose things. They haven't lost anything. They've just hidden stuff and they can't remember where it is. And they wander, right? And Mum had all 3. I went round one Saturday morning, and she was a devout Catholic, I should add. She stopped being an alcoholic in 1974, changed to Catholicism, and she wouldn't hear a bad word said about the Catholic Church. I went round one Saturday morning. You all right? Yep. Had your breakfast? Yes. The nuns gave it to me. The nuns? Yes. Okay. Which nuns were those? Well, the 3 nuns that were sat by my bed when I woke up. There were no nuns. And she said, they got in, Mum? Well, I don't know, they probably came in through the window. Right? That doesn't sound, just to be fair to her, that doesn't sound just because she lived in a ground floor flat. It could have happened. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. You know those keys you keep losing, Mum? Yes. Don't suppose the nuns have stolen them, have they? Oh, the thieving bitches. She ended up in Gloucester Hospital because she wandered, September the 13th, she wandered for the last time. And she was found by the police and I got a call, went to see her. And about a week later, I got a call from the police saying, we need to assign a safeguarding officer to your mum. Can we meet you and can we come and see her? Yeah, that's fine. So I met him outside Gloucester Hospital about 6 o'clock. And we went up to the ward and I was just chatting to him. I said, have you been in the police long? Yeah, about 20 years. How long have you been on the dementia side? Oh, only a couple of months. I said, right, word of advice, whatever she says, don't believe a fucking word of it, right? So we went into the ward and she was 89 by this time, yeah. And the ward was full, there was about 8 beds. About 6 o'clock, it was quite quiet. There was families coming in, chatting to their loved ones. Came in, all right, Mum? Yes? Who's this? Oh, this is PC Davis. Have you come to arrest me? No, Jean, no, I haven't come to arrest you. Well, have you come to arrest him? No. Why would I arrest Nicholas? Well, he's only just come out of prison. Right, this copper looked at me. Have you? I said, no. Just remember what it's no. Because of course he murdered his brother. Mum, Tim died, didn't he, in 2009? Do you remember that? He had heart disease? You would say that. By now, the room had dropped. People were listening, right? People were listening. 5 minutes went by, nothing was said. And then, and of course he made me have sex with him before we were married. This woman in the opposite bed said, that is disgusting. I said, look, I can't deal with this anymore. We've got to go. And I grabbed this, I said, come on, I'm sorry, I just can't deal with this. And just as we were leaving, under her breath, and I don't know to this day whether she knew what she was saying or not, she said, it's that poor dog I feel sorry for. We got outside, this policeman said, have you got a dog? And I was like, well, yeah. And he's like, oh, so that bit's true then? Because we have got a dog. I'm very proud of him. He's a bastard. No, he's an Irish Terrier, and he's a proper dog. He's been to Crufts twice. He's fantastic. We show him. He's brilliant. He's not like one of these dogs, and I suspect there's probably dog owners in this room, but if you're one of those people and your dog has been to a show and won the happiest dog in the show award or the waggiest tail, you have got a shit dog. Because they only give those prizes to fucking dogs they can't think of giving anything else to. No, it's true, but he's a bastard, he really is. And he's just got this thing with hedgehogs lately. I don't know where it's come from, he just bloody hates them. And the other night he was out and there was a hedgehog and he was barking and barking at it, and I went out and I was trying to get him off it. I couldn't do anything, he just would not come away. So I went back indoors, I got a torch, I was shining the torch in his eyes, nothing. And then I realised the torch had a strobe effect on it. I thought, that'll sort him out. So I got the strobe on it, it's got bang, 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 nothing. Absolutely didn't make a slightest bit of difference. Unfortunately, the neighbour watching opposite suffered from epilepsy. And that was a very difficult conversation with the paramedics to say his fit was brought on by a dog attacking a hedgehog. But Murphy he's very aggressive with other entire males, and I've looked at all sorts of research because he is in danger of being attacked. And one piece of advice is, if your dog's attacked by another dog, grab that dog by the back legs and lift it off the ground. Can you imagine that, right? You've got a dog that's kicking off, another dog comes off, clearly pissed off, it's kicking off at your dog, you've got to pick it up by the back legs and hang it upside down like this. What is he going to do when you let him go? Absolutely ridiculous. But the one thing I was worried about with having the dog was having to pick up his shit, to be honest. Because as a kid growing up in the 60s, we didn't have to worry about that. Because of the calcium and the food, it just went white, turned to powder, you kicked it, it was fine. I can remember being at Nan's on a couple of Sundays and having a distinct aroma as somebody had walked through the house who'd obviously trodden in it, and the memory of Nan stood at the sink, scraping the shoe off. Sometimes she'd take the dishes out. It was... But it got me thinking, what must that first dog have thought when it saw its owner pick up its shit? And I think it would have been something like this. What are you doing? You what? You're picking up my shit. Well, I can see that. Why are you doing that? You have to. What, just this once? Every time? Oh, fucking hell, heaven. So, what are you using? Oh, yeah, that little bag. Yeah. Looks a bit thin. Told you it was thin. And what are you doing with it now? You're gonna carry it like a trophy. I cannot wait to get home to tell the cat. Imagine that conversation. Come here. You'll never guess what's happened today. He has picked up my shit. Well, I don't know if he'll do it for you. Yeah, but the thing is, you've got that tray, haven't you? Right, okay. Right, listen. Stop using it and we'll see what happens. A week later, that dog's out, meets his mate. You know that cat I was having problems with? He's gone. Why? Wouldn't stop shitting all over the house. Listen, you've been a delight. Thank you very much. My name's NIK.